Shivaya Gurave Namah, Shri Matre Namah, by bowing down to the Divine Mother, Father of the Universe, Parampita Parameshwara, Ma Lalita Tripura Sundari, with the blessings of Jagat Guru Adi Shankaracharya, Sringeri Jagat Guru Bharati Tirtha Swamiji, Vidushekara Bharati Swamiji, and my beloved Kanchi Mahaperiyava. I welcome you all into my channel Inner Journey with Lakshmi. So today I am going to discuss about all those pointers, all those tips and tricks to get more energies, to get quicker siddhi, and to speed up your manifestations when you are performing any sadhana related to Lalitambika. It can be any sadhana. It could be Shri Vidya sadhana, it could be Lalita Sahasranama, it could be Saundarya Lahari, it could be Kanakadhara Stotram, or it could be Mukambika Stotram, or it could be literally anything that is related to Divine Mother. So, the entire procedure of pleasing the Divine Mother has been very clearly given in Lalita Sahasranamam. So, let's look at each point one by one. So, today, let's try to unlock from secrets from the Lalita Sahasranamam. So, Lalita Sahasranamam is called Lalita Rahasya Sahasranamam. No other Sahasranama is called Rahasya Sahasranama except Lalita Sahasranama, and there is a reason behind it. In addition to the literal meanings, the superficial meanings or the surface meanings, there are internally so much of technology, so much spiritual essence that each nama of Lalita Sahasranama is carrying. Each name of Lalita Sahasranama is a thunderbolt energy capsule, and you need to understand it properly in order to divulge it into the area of your life that needs improvement or healing in your life. So today, let's try to unveil or understand some of the namas from Lalita Sahasranama that are essential to perform our sadhana correctly and precisely in a way that we can easily praise the Divine Mother and get her blessings. So, if you look at the 98th nama in Lalita Sahasranama, which is Samayachara Tatpara, which means one who likes Samayachara. Samayachara means step-by-step worship of Divine Mother in Mooladhara Chakra, then Swadhisthana Chakra, then Manipuraka Chakra, then Anahata Chakra, then Vishuddhi Chakra, Agnya Chakra, and then Sahasrara Chakra. So this step-by-step worship or meditation of Divine Mother from Mooladhara Chakra till the Sahasrara Chakra. So this procedure is called Samayachara. So Samayachara Tatpara means the one who is pleased by the worship in the form of Samayachara procedure. So this is called Samayachara procedure. Next, if you look at the 113th nama in Lalita Sahasranam, which says Bhavani Bhavana Gamya Bhavaranya Kutharika. So Bhavana Gamya means she is to be realized only through internal worship or mental worship. Internal worship or mental worship means obviously meditation. So how to do the meditation? There are two types of meditating. One is meditating with the help of mantra. The second procedure is meditating with the meaning of the mantra, knowing the meaning of the mantra and then contemplating, constantly contemplating on the meaning of the mantra. That is called meditating with mantra. I'll give you an example of both of these. Now, the example of meditating with the help of mantra is taking a mantra like Shri Matre Namaha and then meditating on the Divine Mother from her face till her feet. So when you are meditating on a female deity, you need to go from head to feet. If you are meditating on a male deity, then you need to go from feet to head. So that is the procedure. Now, meditating with the help of mantra means taking a mantra and chanting the mantra at each organ or at each part of the divine form of Lalitambika. That is meditating with the help of mantra. Next, meditating with the meaning of mantra means knowing the meaning of the mantra and then constantly contemplating it. Like for example, if you look into Lalita Sahasranama, श्रीमाता श्री महाराज्ञी श्रीमत् सिंहासनेश्वरी चिदग्निकुंड संभूता देव कार्य समुद्यता उद्यद्भानु सहस्राभा चतुर्बाहु समन्विता. So if you look at the meaning of this mantra, these mantras are saying that Divine Mother, when she came out of the Homakund, she was radiating with the power, the energies, the luster, and the color of thousand rising suns together. So rising sun is in beautiful orangish red color. So when Divine Mother is coming out of the Homakund, she was observed to be radiating the energies, the power, and the color of thousand beautiful rising suns. That is the meaning of Udyadbhanu Sahasrabha. That is the meaning of Udyadbhanu Sahasrabha. So when you are reciting this particular line in Lalita Sahasranama, you have to bring in that contemplation into your mind. That is when the power of your sadhana increases. So this is the procedure of meditation. How to meditate on the Divine Mother is beautifully given in Bhavana Upanishad. So, in one of my future videos, I will definitely make a video on Bhavana Upanishad. Bhavana Upanishad has got 49 pointers on how to worship the Divine Mother, how to worship her internally in meditation, and also how to worship her externally. Everything is there in Bhavana Upanishad. So, I'll make a video very soon. If you look at the 118 Nama in Lalita Sahasranama, it says, Bhakti Priya Bhakti Gamya Bhakti Vashya Bhayapaha. Bhakti Priya means someone who is pleased by devotion. Bhakti Gamya means someone that can be obtained only by pure bhakti, pure devotion. Bhakti Vashya, someone who is attracted by devotion. So understand, bhakti has been repeatedly mentioned thrice here if you observe, and that shows the importance of bhakti. If anything is said in either scriptures or in Sahasranamas or in Stotras again and again and again, that means the Rishi or the Muni who came up with it is trying to draw your focus towards it, is trying to re-establish that that particular Nama is very important, and contemplating, meditating on that particular Nama gives you greater results, quicker manifestations, and phenomenal healings. If you look at Lalita Sahasranama, 323rd Nama, you will see Kadamba Vanavasini. The same name again is also mentioned in Lalita Trishati. The 11th name of Lalita Trishati is Kadamba Kusuma Priya. So, if you understand, this has been mentioned in Lalita Sahasranama, this is mentioned in Trishati also. Again, there is an emphasis that is being made on Kadamba flowers. So, when you are performing any puja, try to use the Kadamba flowers. Try to use the flowers of Kadamba Vriksham. If you look at the 435th Nama in Lalita Sahasranama, the Nama says Champeya Kusuma Priya. Champeya Kusumas means Champaka flowers. Champaka flowers means magnolia flowers basically. So, if you are doing any Sri Chakra Kunkumarchana or if you are performing any puja of the Divine Mother, then try to offer Champaka flowers to her to please her. This is another indication in Lalita Sahasranama about the kind of flower that need to be offered to the Divine Mother to please her. Now I am going to discuss about the food offerings which can be offered to the Divine Mother, with which Divine Ma Lalitambika will be very much pleased. Coming to the food offerings, Payasana Priya, which means food that is cooked with milk and rice, which is nothing but kheer. So Divine Mother will be pleased with kheer. Next, Snigdhaudana Priya, rice mixed with ghee. This gives a wonderful enrichment to health also, basically, as per Ayurveda. Next, Gudanna Prita Manasa, rice cooked with jaggery. Madhuprita means the Divine Mother will be pleased when honey is offered to her. Dadhyanna Asakta Hridaya, that means curd rice is another offering with which the Divine Mother will be pleased. Mudgaudana Sakta Chitta, rice mixed with green gram. Rice mixed with green gram is nothing but pongal. Haridrannaika Rasika means rice mixed with turmeric. Try to understand that although I'm mentioning multiple food offering recommendations from Lalita Sahasranama, you need not prepare all of these items every day. You can choose the one that is easier for you to make among the recommendations from Lalita Sahasranama. Next, Punya Labhya. This is the 543rd Nama in Lalita Sahasranama, which says Divine Mother is the one who can be obtained only through righteous deeds. Now, righteous deeds means something that is righteous from Manasa, Vacha, and also Karmana. Now, you can perform righteous deeds through Manasa by meditating, by purifying your mind. When your mind is purified with meditation or breathing exercise, then all your thoughts will be purified. Next, vacha. Vacha means purifying your vak, purifying your speech. This can be purified through constant bhajans, chantings, and the recitations of stotras, sahasranamas like Khadgamala, Lalita Sahasranama, Durga Sahasranama, Vishnu Sahasranama, etc. Next, karmana. Karmana means doing the righteous deeds through your actions. So, your actions, doing righteous deeds through actions means you can consider charity here, like offering some charity in old age home or offering some charity to orphanage. If you come across someone who is underprivileged, or if you come across someone who is not in a great financial situation, and if you are kind enough to offer some help to that person, then as the saying goes, Nara Seva is Narayana Seva. You will immediately become near and dear to the divine Ma Lalitambika. Punya Shravana Kirtana means by listening about her, by talking about her, by singing about her, by praising about her, by chanting about her, by discussing about her, you can obtain meritorious deeds. If you look at the 559th Nama in Lalita Sahasranama, it mentions Tambula Purita Mukhi, which means the one who is pleased with betel nut leaves. So you can offer betel leaves as prasad to the Divine Mother, and then you can consume it back. It's very good for health also. Dhyanagamya. If you look at the 641st Nama in Lalita Sahasranama, it says Dhyanagamya. Lalita Sahasranama is asking us to meditate on her. How do you meditate? If you take Lalita Sahasranama, you can consider to meditate upon the meanings of the Lalita Sahasranama by contemplating and analyzing each line, the meaning behind each line. That is one way of meditating on Lalita Sahasranama. Now, if you see Khadgamala, then you can chant Khadgamala in all your chakras. Most of you have attended my Khadgamala workshop where I have taught you how to meditate on chakras using Khadgamala to purify your chakras, to unblock your chakras, and to get the blessings of the Divine Mother. If you look at the 655th name of the Divine Mother, it is saying Yogya means the one that can be reached through yoga. Yoga means, again, you have Mantra Yoga, Laya Yoga, Hatha Yoga, Raja Yoga, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Kundalini Yoga. Okay, Raja Yoga is again divided into Sankhya Yoga, Taraka Yoga, and Amanska Yoga. If you look at the 732nd name of Lalita Sahasranama, you will see that she is praised as Namaparayana Prita, which means the one who is pleased when you constantly recite her divine names like Lalita Sahasranama again, or Saundarya Lahari, or Khadgamala, or Mooka Panchashati, or Shyamala Dandakam. All these are very, very powerful. Any stotra, any mantra related to Divine Mother is very powerful. You can choose any one of it and constantly keep chanting on it and keep meditating if possible, if you know the meaning of it. If you look at the 773rd name of Lalita Sahasranama, you will come across a name such as Patali Kusuma Priya. Patali Kusumas means here there is a mention about a certain kind of flower that needs to be offered to Divine Mother to please her. So that flower is pale red trumpet flower. If you look at the 776th Nama of Lalita Sahasranama, it is mentioning about Mandara Kusuma Priya. Mandara Kusumas means the hibiscus flowers, the red color hibiscus flowers, which are offered to the Shri Yantra. You can offer it to the Shri Yantra. You can take multiple hibiscus flowers and offer it to the Divine Mother for every Nama that you are chanting. This is another process. There is another beautiful Nama in Lalita Sahasranama which is talking about how to perform puja to the Divine Mother. So that Nama is Puja. Puja means the one who is worthy of worship. Okay, what is this kind of worship through puja? So there are three kinds of pujas. One is Chatushyashtupacharadhya, that is 64 upacharas to be done to the Divine Mother. And the next one is Shodashopachara Puja, which is a shortcut of Chatushyashtupacharadhya, that is Shodashopachara means 16 upacharas done to the Divine Mother. And the third one is the Panchopachara Puja. If you cannot perform Shodashopachara Puja, then you can perform the Panchopachara Puja. Those who are interested to know the Panchopachara Puja procedure, they can text me and I'll give you the link of the Panchopachara Puja. If you look at the 881st Nama of Lalita Sahasranama, there is a mention about Yajnapriya. Yajnapriya means the one who is pleased by performing yajnas. Yajnas means homas, the fire rituals like Chandi Homa, Sri Sukta Homa, etc. If you look at the 927th name of Lalita Sahasranama, there is a mention about Stotra Priya, which means stotras and stutis. Both are together called stotras. So one who is fond of praises is called stotra priya. So what kind of praises? Praises means stotras. What kind of praises? Namaskaras, blessings, praising the attainments or telling about the siddhantas, praising the parakrama, rehearsing her glory, prayer for prosperity. So all these are different types of stotras which are categorized as Lalita Sahasranama, Lalita Trishati, Saundarya Lahari, Khadgamala, Sri Suktam, Shyamala Dandakam. All these are different stotras one can recite to get her blessings. With regards to the top stotra of Divine Mother, that is covering all these aspects of namaskaras, blessings, telling about the siddhantas, parakramas, glory, prarthana, everything. All this criteria is satisfied by the most powerful and sacred Lalita Sahasranama, which is why Lalita Sahasranama has got that importance in worshipping the Divine Mother. Again, understand, as we discussed earlier, Bhakti Priya, Bhakti Gamya, Bhakti Vashya. So try to do it with utmost devotion. And devotion can happen only when you have completely surrendered and only when you have full faith. So try to bring those elements into your worship, whichever worship you are doing, whatever worship you are doing. Try to bring that element of complete faith and surrender, and then bring consistency into your spiritual work, and you're sure to see results. If you look at the 928th Nama of Lalita Sahasranama, you will see that the Vagdevatas, the Vashinyadi Vagdevatas, are praising the Divine Mother as Stutimati. Stutimati means praising the Divine Mother. The top Stutis are Lalita, Sthavaratnam, Mooka Panchashati, and Saundarya Lahari. These are the top Stutis of Divine Mother. If you look at the 929th name of Lalita Sahasranama, you will come across a nama such as Pancha Sankhyopacharini, which means two things basically. One who is worshipped with 5 offerings. One is doing the Panchopachara Puja. That is, Panchopachara Puja means offering 5 upacharas. Those 5 upacharas include offering food or naivedya to the Divine Mother, offering lamp or deepam, offering incense or sambrani or loban, offering flowers to the Divine Mother, and offering sandalwood paste to the Divine Mother. These are the 5 upacharas which are together called Panchopachara. The second kind of Panchopachara is whatever you are offering to the Divine Mother, offering it in the count of 5. That is, if you are offering food, naivedya, then offering 5 kinds of items. If you're offering lamp to the Divine Mother, offering 5 kinds of lamps. If you're offering flowers to the Divine Mother, offering 5 different kinds of flowers. So this is called Panchopachara Puja, Pancha Sankhyopacharini. Next, one of the most important namas of Lalita Sahasranama is the 971st Nama, which is Suvasinyarchana Preta Ashobhana Shuddhamanasa. So Suvasinyarchana Preta, the one who is pleased by Suvasini Puja. Suvasini means doing the puja to a woman. We all know on the last days of Navaratri or during some important festivals related to Lalitambika, we call the women and offer some prasad to them. We offer betel nut leaves to them. We offer some upacharas to them, and we also offer clothes to them. So this is called Suvasini Puja. If you look at the 977th name in Lalita Sahasranama, there is a mention of Dashamudras. That is Dashamudra Samaradhya. There are 10 mudras of Lalitambika which are very near and dear to her. And these mudra devatas are clearly mentioned in Khadgamala. So there are 10 mudras which are actually taught in Srividya Sampradaya, which are very near to the Divine Mother. If you look at the 979th name of Lalita Sahasranama, the Vashinyadi Vagdevatas, they are praising the Divine Mother herself as Jnana Mudra. They are saying she herself is a Jnana Mudra. So Jnana Mudra means the Chin Mudra that you all know. We all know this Chin Mudra, which we generally use for meditations. Meditation becomes very powerful when you do it with Chin Mudra. So try to incorporate Chin Mudra during your worship as much as possible. If you look at the 980th name of Lalita Sahasranama, Vashinyadi Vagdevatas are praising the Divine Mother as Jnanagamya. The one who can be reached through knowledge is the meaning of this Nama. So how do you get knowledge? Read the Devi Bhagavatam. Read about the Divine Mother. Read about Sri Chakra Upanishad. Read about Bhavana Upanishad. Read about Lalitopakhyanam. Read about Divine Mother wherever it is available in the scriptures, like Brahmanda Purana. There is a mention about how Agastya Muni received the Divine Mother's initiations. Everything is mentioned. So whichever Veda or whichever portion of the scripture there is a mention about Divine Mother, try to grab it immediately and read about her and know more and more about her. This is another way of pleasing Divine Mother. Many people think that it's only just praying, it's only chanting her names. But see, there are so many other ways also. You can incorporate as much as possible. 982nd Nama of Lalita Sahasranama is mentioning about Yoni Mudra. Yoni Mudra is one of the Dashamudras, and out of all the Dashamudras, this is the most important mudra. Even while performing the Sri Chakra Navavarana Puja, after every Avarana, this Yoni Mudra is showed to the Divine Mother to seek her blessings and to offer apologies to the Divine Mother if at all we have done any mistake in the sadhana. If you look at the 983rd Nama of Lalita Sahasranama, there is a mention about Trikhandeshi. This is the 10th mudra. This mudra is used to stabilize Divine Mother in the Shri Chakra. Very powerful mudra. So this mudra is also mentioned as one of the most important mudras along with Yoni Mudra and Jnana Mudra to please the Divine Mother. When you look at the 990th Nama of Lalita Sahasranama, you will come across something as Abhyasatisha Yajnata, the one who is obtained by consistency, by frequent practice. See, try to understand. Now, so far, we have discussed about so many food offerings, Naivedyas, so many mudras, so many flowers. Choose one of those approaches. Choose one of the approaches from what we have discussed today, or choose as many approaches as possible that you can follow without skipping, and then do it consistently, frequently. Doing consistently means doing every day, doing at the same time, and doing at the same place. That is called consistency.